Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome to Forge by Remans. I create practical and relevant design tutorials to help you grow in your learning journey and to help you become a better designer. So make sure you subscribe to this very channel and turn on the notification bell so that you do not miss any tutorial that I'm dropping in the future. All right, so in this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through how to create modern church flyer using Photoshop. And we are going to be majorly focusing on using text effects to make your typography stand out more, right? So I will show you how to make simple tests and transform it into something that adds depth, style, and visual impact to your design. So by the end of this tutorial, we are going to achieve something exactly like this. Not just achieving it here, you will be able to do it on your own. But by the way, we are going to go to Photoshop now. All right, so let's go. All right, so we're going to start by creating a new document, right? I'm going to be a bit fast because I've done other tutorials. I've uploaded other tutorials where you are going to see us, sit over all these step by step. So, but I'm going to be fast. So I'm going to use a 4x5 Instagram size for this. Then I'm going to switch it to a black background. The reason is because we are definitely going to use white text. So it's better we start with a black background there. So now we are going to bring in our text and Trend Life Christian said, okay, we're going to bring in the logo. All right, so the title is Ignite Sunday. Right, so Ignite Sunday. So probably this is the text that I used last, and it's the text you've seen here, which is the exact text that I used for that particular design. It's called Salty Sunday, right? So the first thing we want to do is to ensure that we align it properly to the background to ensure that it is properly aligned. So now what I want to quickly do also is to bring in every other text. Now in terms of hierarchy, now because I have told us before that what hierarchy does is to guide the attention of your audience, right? Because as a designer, one of the things you're doing is, or the major work you're doing is you are solving problem, and that problem is communication problem, right? So your design is meant to communicate to an audience, right? So the message here is Ignite Sunday, right? So I've taught extensively on the three mental model of design, right? You can check some other videos that I have in this channel, and you're going to see that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to bring in now is the date, right? Because after the theme, the next people want to see is the date. So we're going to change the font here to okay, Seges. I'm going to make it bold. All right, so now I'm going to change the lead, whatever to, I think it's 50 baht. 50 should be fine now. All right, so let's remove the day, sun, sun is okay. 30th, so we're going to break it down. August, we're still going to remove the yeah, so let's just put a full stop there. Then we're going to have 4 p.m. on the third line. By the way, I'm going to let's see. Okay, so I'm going to adjust this leading back a little bit because I don't want the lines too separate from each other. And I always want to quickly say that this is personal preference, right? You necessarily do not have to do it like that. Maybe we should change this to medium. It's a bit so bold, right? So we're going to give it a slant. So the next thing we're going to bring in now, okay, they have too close now, right? So we can just move it out a little bit. Okay, beautiful. So the next thing we're going to bring in now is the date. The venue, right? So I'm going to draw a text box for the venue, and it doesn't have to be all caps. Let's bring it down, right? Then let's reduce this to 25 somehow. So Ignite Sunday. So we are still going to just space it out a little bit. All right, Ignite Sunday Center. Okay. Ignite Sunday Center. Maybe I should give it. Sorry. Okay, let's get a stroke line like this. Right. Lagos. Okay. Ikoto. It's supposed to be Governor's Road. Lagos is fine. All right. So we're going to see how we're going to make this. We're going to bold in this thing. This part of it. Right. Let's make it bold. Right. So while we remove this all the way down to regular. Yeah, because we don't want it to compete with that name of the venue. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to bring in here is the info, right? Info. So just going to copy this. Let's take this out. Okay, info. Then I'm going to make this bold. I'm going to make this bold. Right. So on and so forth. Okay. All right. So before we move forward, now we're going to address this particular the date and the time. I think it was a little bit too small because let's make it bold again. Yeah. Because after the title of the program, the next thing someone wants to see is the dates before the venue. All right. Okay, so this has to even be a little bit smaller. Then I'm going to give it a breaker here. I'm just going to give it a breaker. I love it. It's personal to me. I love separating, with a breaker. All right, so we're going to duplicate and just move it to this other side. So to ensure that these stuffs are properly aligned, I have to first group them together, then align them, with the background to ensure that they are properly aligned. Then if they are too big, we can just bring them down a little bit. Then we are going to increase this somehow. We're going to increase this somehow. Then the next thing is August special edition. August special edition, right? So sorry, it's going to be bold, but the slant is going to go. Okay. So social media. Let's wait and see. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to bring in the photos that we're going to use. We're going to bring in the photos that we're going to use. All right. So I want to use this particular photo. This is the pasta. Okay. All right. So I'm going to choose my polygonal lasso to blend a part of it to the background. Yeah, let's blend a part of it. There are a lot of people who use who mask their photo, but for me, in this case, it's not necessary because I don't need that part. All right. So if I mask it, I'm only increasing the size of my stuff. So there's no point revealing it in future. So I just get rid of it. Okay, so I'm going to bring in this as well. So first I'm going to right click again, then flip it horizontal. Then I use my first of all, there is this chair at her back. So we're going to get rid of it. We're going to use our polygonal lasso to get rid of it. Getting rid of it. All right. Suppose I've done this before flipping it, because it's giving me this lefty vibe and I don't know how to do it. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is to choose our polygonal lasso tool again, right? So that we blend, instead of brushing, let's blend it. Just gonna blend it to the background. And we're gonna move it behind this. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. So the next thing we're gonna do now, we're gonna address the social media issue. So we're going to, let me just duplicate this, right? Let me turn this to the social media and turn live. Let's leave that hanging there first. Then the next thing we're going to do is the name of the pastor. Okay. And I think Ghana people call it pastor. Sorry. So we're going to bring this here. Pastor Kingsley Orobosa. Okay. Let's move it this way. Right. So let's see how we adjust the pictures this way a little bit. I intentionally took it out of alignment to give it, a style. All right. So let's just change Margaret and Evangelist Margaret. Let me just remove that because I didn't put it on the other name. Okay, so this Evang has to be medium, right? While this pasta has to be medium. Okay, so we're doing a great work here. We're doing a magnificent work already, right? Okay. So the next thing we're gonna do, let's address social media stuff. Where's elements, icons, 1, 2, 3. That's fine. All right. So we're going to remove this white space that is here. Right. Let's delete it. Let's copy. Okay. Let's bring it here. Paste. Let's copy. Paste. Where's the other one? Okay. Let's copy. And we're going to paste. So I'm going to select the 3 of them. Right. So that's I scale them down a little bit so that they will maintain the same size. I don't want one bigger than the other, so I want them to maintain the same size. Then one after the other, flip the color, then flip the color as well. I invert the color, then this as well. All right, so I cannot group them together now, right? So let's see. Let's launch this. Hallelujah. The way I'm hitting this enter, it's beginning to give me a concern. Okay, let's take it easy now, man. Okay, I just duplicated them, then PK Orobosa. All right. So we can group them so that we can balance it to be at the middle. Let's align it properly, and we are still going to reduce. We're still going to reduce it. But by the way, the words are too choked up, right? So I'm going to open it up a little bit. So I'm going to move the tracking from 50 to maybe 25 or 10, right? so that people can read what's there from 50 to 10. Sorry, to 10. Okay, so I'm going to move this forward a little bit. Okay. All right, so let's group them again because I don't want them scattered. All right, so the next thing that I want to quickly do now, which is so necessary, is to introduce background to this very design. So the background we're going to use, I think, let's see how we use. Okay, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. Let's spread it out. Let's move it to the back. Right. Okay. So I'm going to just give it a Gaussian blur. Right. Not too much. Not too much. Not too much. Right. Okay. So I'm going to first of all come to my adjust and give it some levels. Let's add some levels to it to make it a little bit thicker or darker. Yep. So the next that I want to bring now is this. Okay. So I'm going to bring this. Right. Okay. Sorry. So let me give it a radial blur. Give it a radial blur. 18 looks okay. All right. So we're going to give it a radial blur. So let's move it to be below. Okay, let's take it to the down. Then this, I'm going to just get rid of this bottom part of it because it's not that dark to what I want. All right, so that we can use the darker part of the one at the bottom. Okay, so now if you notice, you're going to see that this text is stepping on the white cloth, on the white suit. So what we're going to do is to draw, or the kind, one of the approach that I do give to it is just to draw a shape above, the shirt to be behind the text. I just pick any part of this, image stuff. So what I do, let's just give it a Gaussian blur, right? Let's spread it, right? So you see that we cover that white part to some extent, so that we'll be able to see the stuffs that are that are written there. Okay, so mind you, this is, I'm not saving. Mind you, this is the particular text, which is the subject, the heading that we are going to turn into a 3D text, right? So the next thing we're going to do right now is to okay, we've not gotten the logo. Let's go with okay, let's bring in this particular logo. Now, because I'm going to change it to white, I'm going to remove all of these parts, right? I'm going to remove all of these parts. Yeah, because I'm going to change it to white, right? All of my life. Let me change it to white. So on and so forth. So we are going to, okay, I think we are going to use a color overlay. Let's change the overlay color to white. We have the name of the church. The church is there already. All right, so the next thing that I want to do very quickly now is, okay, I think it's time for us to bring in a test effect, right? Let's bring in a test effect, a 3D test effect. Ooh. All right, so where do I have it? Okay, let's go to documents. I'm going to look for, I already have some samples here, and this is the exact one I use, right? So this is how by default is going to come. And mind you, this is a downloadable template, right? So I'm going to leave or put a link in the comments or in the description where you can, in case you want to download this particular 3D, test effect and a few of other 3D test effects that I will have to offer. I'm going to put a link there that you are going to click to access, the folder where you can just download and use. Otherwise, there are websites where you can also download these things for free online, right? So the only thing you are learning here is how to, modify it to what you want, right? Okay, so I'm going to open this one now in particular. All right, so now there's something I want you to notice here, which is very, very important, right? So first of all, let's close this additional text because I don't want that, right? So now if you look at the layers, right? So this is this is the particular layer, right? The smart objects layer, where because this is converted to smart object already so that you can replace whatever you see there, right, with what you want to do. So you are going to double click this little thumbnail, right? So this smart object thumbnail here, you're going to double click it. So it's going to open another, the smart objects stuff for you. So what you're going to do now is this. We are going to first, let's come back here. So we are first of all going to close this. There are two ways you can use it. You can either use the text they have there, right? You just type in what you have. You only need to use to have the font installed on your laptop, right? So, but I don't want to use this particular text. So that was the reason why I have to create my own first that I want to use, right? So the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this, right? I'm going to copy this. Let me group this first of all. Let me duplicate it. Let me close one so that I can come back to it in future if I want to. So I'm going to take this now. Just hold on. This is not the destination. Sorry, I'm bringing it here. So I'm going to remove this one. Sorry. Let's come back and remove this one. Or otherwise, you can come here and type this stuff again. But since I've already arranged it, I just didn't want to stress myself. And maybe I ended up even stressing myself too. So what you want to do, just change this color to black. Sometimes not necessary, sometimes it's necessary, right? Depending on the type of template you are editing. I've seen some template whereby the color of the text you use here matters a lot. It's going to reflect on, what you're doing there, right? So we have it here, right? So automatically, this has become, the text that we're going to use, right? But before then, one thing you must understand is a 3D text effect is a visual kind of a treatment that makes flat text appear to have, number one, depth, number two, thickness, and dimension, right? So as if the letters, exist in a three-dimensional space. So that 3D is three-dimensional. That's when you hear 3D, it's three-dimensional, right? So that is just what it is. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to get rid of the background. We are just going to turn off the visibility of the background. All right, so we are going to save as, right? Control Shift S to save as, right? So we're going to save in PNG, right? So let's just name it 55555. You're going to save it in PNG. into that same folder, or you can choose whatever folder you want to save it in, right? So just a moment. Just a moment. All right, so it's ready. So the next thing we're going to do, we're closing it now, closing these two rather. So the next thing we're going to do is to come to the folder and just open it, copy it, and then we're going to close that one now. Then we're rather instead going to use this to replace that which we did before. Okay, so we're just going to spread it out so that we get what we want. So let's align it. Now if you notice, you're going to find out that it is it's actually casting a shadow on this text. So what we're going to do, we're just going to touch it and move the layer above this particular layer so that it doesn't cast a shadow on the text. It won't be good, right? Okay, so on and so forth. So on and so forth. So the next thing we are quickly going to do now is to see. Okay, let me brighten this up a little bit. Sorry. Let me use curves to brighten this up a little bit. Awesome. So I'm gonna use okay, I'm gonna use levels to level this up a little bit, so on and so forth. So the next thing that I did again was to bring in a flare light. All right, so I'm going to switch it to screen, then just put it at the side here, then we put it one at the side here, so on and so forth. All right, so the next thing, all right, even before we put in there that we're going to ungroup this so that we can add some colors. On the 4 p.m. I want to take a color from here, right? But that's a little bit very dark, very light, right? So I want to all right, so the next thing on this info, on the info word itself, right? So we are going to boom. So I'm going to change the color overlay here on this group. I'm going to change it from white to that same color. I'm just going to copy it instead of going through the same route again, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so on and so forth. So this is how you are going to create basically a modern church flyer, and this is how you are going to work with what's it called now, a 3D text effect in Photoshop. Right, they are downloadable. Like I said before, I'm going to put a link either in the description of this video or just check the description or in the comment section. You are going to see it pinned there, right? So just click the link and you're going to have access to it. And I have a course that is for sale. The link is still going to be in the comments, right? And I have a master class that is coming, and we are putting up every effort to ensure that master class takes you from a beginner level to a pro level, where you are going to be able to do something really practical and also build your professional portfolio, right? And the duration for that course is going to be I think a month and 2 weeks or thereabouts. So, but we are structuring it to see that it is not too broad, and we are structuring it to also see that it carries everything that you need. And we have up to about 11 modules, in that particular master class, and it's going to be super amazing. So we are going to also include the link to that masterclass to this very video, and we're going to include the link to our what's it called WhatsApp community. Sorry, a bit distracted. WhatsApp community. We're going to include it to this same video. So do well to join our WhatsApp community, and make sure you have access also to the structured course, because I'm going to be taking you, hands on, like a one-on-one stuff till you become strong. And that's not a promise. That is, something that we are sure that you are definitely going to do. All right. So see you in my next video. Thank you. And make sure you subscribe if you've not. Thank you.